All right, so I'm going to go ahead and say some things that a lot of people are going to have doubt with. A lot of people are not going to believe me because they've been too wrapped up in their luxuries. They've been too wrapped up in their lives to notice what's going on around them. God is just like revealing all this stuff to me. He revealed all this stuff to me, I guess, starting last year, but I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to believe it. And he keeps revealing to me again and again and again. And it has to do also with non-Christians as well. So please pay attention, whether you're Christian or not. I'll tell you this. People are just going to be like, well, no, that's not happening. No, they're going to have doubts. Let's talk about inflation. So I want to show you something here. This is $5. A $5 bill. Now at the top right here, it says Federal Reserve Note. Federal Reserve Note. Okay, see that? Top. You can see it, Federal Reserve Note. So all it is, it's just a note. That's all it is. It's just a note. There's no gold in here. There's no silver in here. Nothing like that. There's no copper in here either. So it's just a note. Now, at any given point in time, that note can be worth $3.75, $4.11, $2.20. It can be worth just anything. It just depends on the treasury. It just depends on the government. The government entities. Why? Why is it going up and down, or why is it going up? It's because of the debt ceiling. For the most part, it's the debt ceiling. Okay, what is the debt ceiling? The debt ceiling is this. Check this out. I don't know all the technical terms and stuff like that. I don't know all that stuff, but I'll give you an example. You have a credit card. Your credit card has a limit of $5,000. Right? You got it from somewhere, from someone, right? That someone says, okay, after you finish spending what you need to spend, please owe it back to me. Say, okay, we'll owe it back to you. We promise. You spend $5,000, that $5,000 over the course of a year. And then the credit company or whoever gave you the money says, hey, listen, we need that $5,000. And then what happens is that, like, you say, I don't have the $5,000. I spent it all. I have nothing to pay it up with. And then you say, okay, can I borrow $6,000? And then I'll promise to pay you $5,000. I promise. And then I'll promise to pay you that $6,000. And then the company says, okay, but you have to promise though. You have to promise. Of course, we definitely know that credit card companies don't work like that. And maybe most people don't even work like that. But the government works like that. They owe a debt of, last time I checked, I think it was $17 trillion. $17 trillion. And it has nothing to do with Democrats or Republicans, because they're always switching sides. They're always switching opinions. It just depends on who's the president is. They're always switching sides depending on who the president is. But what happens is that, like, they borrow that $17 trillion, and then December and January, if you notice on the news, December and January, they always say, okay, if we don't raise the debt ceiling, if we don't borrow more money, if we don't print more money from the treasury, if we don't print more money, then we're going to go into default. In the same way, if you have a credit card and you don't pay your credit card and you have no money to pay your credit card, and you don't borrow any more money from the credit card company, what happens is now you're in default. In the same way, the government will be in default if they stop borrowing money, if they stop printing money. They'll be in default. And as the government prints more money, as the treasury prints more money to give to the government officials, then inflation happens. And this $5 is not worth $5 anymore. Instead, it's worth $1.14. And I'm going to explain. Matter of fact, let me get into this. A lot of the countries around the world, I would say a good portion, I would say 80% of the countries in the world, they use our money. They use our money for their currency. They may exchange it for, their currency, but they still use it. Their currency relies on our currency. So if our currency drops, their currency drops. But there's going to be something later in the future. I don't know when It could be 4 years from now. It could be 5 months from now. But there's going to be something later in the future in which a lot of countries are going to get together. Powerful countries are going to get together. And they're going to say, we don't need your dollars anymore, U.S. Because you keep borrowing money from yourself and your money is getting worthless. It's getting less and less. This $5 ain't $5 anymore. Instead, it's $3.11, and then it was $2.45, and then it was $1.15. So what's going on here? Your dollar is not dependable anymore. It's not dependable anymore. We can't depend on this anymore. And so what's going to happen is that a bunch of countries are going to get together, and they're going to form another system. That's called the Antichrist system. I'm just going to hold it right there. Now let's talk about COVID. Now, of course, back then in 2020, we got the COVID. And did you see how people responded? Did you see? First it started off in China. Us. Oh, nah, man, that ain't going to come over here, man. That ain't going to affect me. Then it came over to the West Coast. Oh, people in New York. Oh, nah, they ain't going to come over to me. People in Florida. Nah. People in Texas. Oh, they'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. San Francisco, you got this. That's what everybody said. And then the whole COVID just swept through the world. People had doubts. Just like they're probably having doubts in the inflation that I was talking about. Or in the New World Order that I talked about in the Antichrist system. Let's talk about protests. Remember when they were protesting the police officers? They said they wanted to defund the police officers, right? They said that they wanted to, oh, we don't need the police officers. Okay, when your sister gets raped, who are you going to go to? Ridiculous. But then with those protests, some people started rioting. And then some people came in agreement with the riots. Do you see how human nature is getting worse and worse and worse? And people want to say it's getting better. Just because your life is getting better does not mean human nature is getting better. Because you haven't been paying attention. You haven't been paying attention to what people agree with. I want to talk about this human behavior, human nature. Have you noticed human nature is just accepting more things that are ungodly? What do I mean by that? I have to dig into this a little bit. Human nature. You see how we accept pornography on the internet? It's just absolutely free. It's just free. Free for your child to look on it. And it's free for pop-ups to pop up right in front of your child. And then your child go ahead and clicks on it, and then it's just like nothing. You're just like, oh yeah, just stay on that computer. Yeah. Just as long as you're not bothering me. Human behavior. You see, human behavior is just accepting the things of the flesh. We accept homosexuality. Oh yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool, man. Yeah. Even though you got sexually abused when you were young, and now you hate men and like women, and you're a woman. Yeah, that's cool. That's fine. Come on, we know what happened. The reason that you're homosexual, the reason that you're gay, is because you had something traumatic happen to you, or you had an encounter happen to you and you liked it. That's what happened. It was either with your best friend or with your cousin, and then you wound up turning homosexual, and you said, I like that, because you like the flesh. You like that kind of lifestyle. And that's what happened. Or you got abused, and then you got abused by this man. This man's all sweaty and stuff like that. And you said, I hate men. I want to be with women now. Women are more gentle. And that's what happened. So now people are just like, well, let them be happy. Let them be joyful. So you mean let them be happy in their pain and let them be happy in their suffering? They still got pain in their hearts. That's why they're homosexual. That's why they turn homosexual. And they don't want to admit it. They just want to cover it up by going to the same sex. Again, human behavior. People just accept transgender. How is it that God made a boy and a girl, but later on when that boy grows up, they want to be a girl. Or when that girl grows up, they want to be a boy. You're changing things of God regardless of if you believe in God or not. If you believe in that transgender movement and you say, oh, just let them be happy, then you're just agreeing with that. You're just agreeing with the things of the devil, not agreeing with the things of God. You're saying that God made a mistake. God made a mistake to make that girl be born a girl. And God made a mistake to make that boy be born a boy. God made a mistake. Hey, you can correct his mistakes by making yourself into a girl, even though you were born a boy. Human behavior. People just accept, oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah. And the devil, I'll tell you this, man, that the devil is actually using people to actually hate other people that are like that. And then the devil is just like, well, you know, if you're Christian and you hate transgender, like their lifestyle, then that means you hate the people. Saying, no, we hate that kind of lifestyle, like what they do. We don't hate them. We love them. We want them to get out the pain, get out the suffering that they went through, not cover it up with homosexuality, not cover it up by turning yourself from a boy into a girl. But people don't want to believe it. Oh, just let them be. They're happy. Just let them be.